Howdy, y'all. Ben, where did you get that cherry Coke?
I actually bought it for the Russians or the Ukrainians.
No, I'm saying, where did you get that one that you were drinking?
It was in the over there. I stole it from you. I saw it and I was like, okay.
Did you say
That was the only cold cherry Coke.
Oh.
This morning.
I bought the 12 pack.
Yeah.
I feel entitled.
Like, I got, because there's a bunch just sitting out in the garage. I grabbed one. I'm like, I feel like a cherry Coke this morning. I put it in the fridge for an hour. Got it nice and cold.
I was like, man, what a
Typical Merlini
fortuitous
style.
presentation of cherry Coke.
The only cold cherry Coke in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put it in the freezer for 15 minutes and you're good to go.
Okay.
Just
well,
can't forget about it or else it'll
bad things
blow
happen.
up. It'll go techie style on you.
I'm sorry, I stole it.
That's okay.
It's
I'll forgive
delicious.
you.
If that's
bought
any
it, so.
consolation.
Yeah, that's definitely the consolation.
It is a consolation because I will put one in the freezer and I'll be happy.
Well,
with
if I didn't enjoy it, then he would feel slighted. He'd be like, wow, you took this and you didn't even enjoy
No,
it.
that's true. That's true. That's a good point. So not today versus EG. Game
These guys didn't
one.
get any cherry Cokes this morning either.
Yeah, I don't think so. But this is the game not today wins, right? You agree with me, GoDz? I know you do.
Not today when this 3-0.
Oh,
Or
big
3-1.
time.
Dang.
All right. I like that. They come out of nowhere.
I could see not today.
Well, Smash is going to get his brew.
Yes, Smash Brew, and just I think they'll look at, like, I know I was casting with Envy that last game, and he definitely was not a fan of, like, they gave EG Brew and something else crazy.
Brutal Lycan.
Yeah, Brew Lycan, and he was just like, they just straight up lost. And, I mean, they kind of, it was, EG played pretty bad, and the game ended up being kind of clowny and close, but I think they'll look back on those games and draft accordingly.
I feel like the Crystal Maiden was the MVP, though, for sure. Love that Crystal Maiden pick.
Oh, man. That's my favorite game of the tournament, as clowny as it was. Envy just made it
It felt like a
perfect.
captain's draft game. I was right at home. So, Brew Earthshaker, so we got some strength, juicy heroes, as I like to call them, for not today.
10 seconds remaining.
And then Puck Witch Doctor for EG. So, EG did not ban Brew, obviously.
5 seconds
They
remaining.
There's something
drafted
in
pretty
mind
well
here?
versus it, though. Witch Doctor is one of the better supports. He's really
Yeah.
difficult to kill with the heal, and then Puck, obviously, too, with the silence to prevent him from splitting, high mobility. You want to kite Brew during his ultimate, make it really difficult to get that one kill, then move on to the next. If he doesn't kill anyone, even if people are low HP, it's not really that great of a use of the Brew ult.
If you get the insta cast off on the bears, it's just
Yeah.
you're not doing much with that ulti. So it makes things tricky for Brew. And EG seem to have this opening plan, like, hey, look, we'll leave Brew in the pool most likely and insta grab the Witch Doctor, because you would never see a first 2 pick Witch Doctor except in this scenario. I feel up against a Brewmaster. Maybe if you got like a Witch Doctor Void, but even then we saw people go more like Void Skywrath over the Void Witch Doctor.
Who
Yeah.
played Puck yesterday for EG? Because they switch it up from
Normally
time to
it's
time.
Fear who plays.
Fear is the
Puck.
main Puck, but it
Yeah.
definitely wasn't him yesterday.
Universe
Was it Universe
occasionally
maybe?
plays
Universe
it.
Yeah.
offlane, I think, right? Does
That-
Arteezy play Puck?
He does,
No.
but
That's
they
not one of
used
his
to.
favorites, though.
he can play it, but they put him on farmers.
Yeah.
Generally.
Back when he was playing less, like when they had Mason on the team, Ortiz would sometimes go Puck when Mason would play like your Weavers and your actual carries, but
The old Puck Midas.
Yeah.
Did he ever actually do that?
I don't think so. And funnily enough, Puck Midas is now like the
It's
go-to
common.
build. Yeah, or at least common. But I think not today, despite like Witch Doctor, Puck,
5
EG preparing for the
seconds remaining.
Brewmaster, will be pretty happy with the 2 picks they got.
Yeah,
They have good team fight on both sides, though, so far.
Evil geniuses
Mhm.
turn to pick.
And surprisingly, I think Tidehunter was ignored too. They could have taken that very early with like a Puck Tide opener. Tide's pretty good versus Brewmaster too. You can get the Kraken Shell, or sorry, the Anchor Smash on the Brewlings, and they do like absolutely no damage. So, passing that up.
Yeah. And even not today, they got the Earthshaker and they could have got like the Brew Tide as their opening duo.
10
Mhm.
seconds.
I guess it
remaining.
reveals like your lanes entirely, but there's so few offlaners nowadays. Like so often you'll see a team get to 5th pick and be like, they need an offlane, and then it's like, well, I guess we got to get a Centaur, and then the Centaur doesn't really do too much. So
Reserve time.
It's because they don't play Centaur correctly, obviously.
they don't have the right cosmetics
Yeah,
too.
that
They
that
need
as well. I don't. It's really
Is your
depressing.
Centaur set
not
in
seeing-
yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the new chest.
Not enough horse faces.
Yeah, not enough horse faces either. But why has Centaur dropped off so much? The only thing they've changed
I don't actually know.
is the hoof stomp mana cut, which is actually semi big deal because you cast it once, you can't cast it again until you regen a little bit of mana. But basically, you have room for 2 hoof stomps in the early stages of the game without a mana pot. I don't know if that's that big of a deal.
I don't think that was the reason he fell off, because you're never using, like when you're up against a Jewel or Trilon as a solo Centaur, you're never really using
You're
hoof
just
stomp
standing
anyways.
around, yeah.
Yeah, you're standing around leeching. Occasionally you'd try and poke up a little bit, but like any kind of harass was more done by return. So I feel he kind of fell off. Like we're seeing more Jewel lanes, I guess, and Centaur doesn't really fit into those kind of
I feel like
offlane dual lanes
Centaur
so
in a
well.
dual lane is amazing. Shadow
be,
Demon
yeah.
Centaur, huh? We don't see Shadow Demon at all anymore, which is crazy as well. I think that's an amazing hero. We're going to get Enigma, so more team fight cometh. So that's going to be the Universe Enigma.
Oh, Zai probably. I would
Oh,
say.
you think it's Zai? I guess it could be.
Normally,
So Puck
yeah.
Universe maybe?
Zai was wearing his
10
Enigma shirt
seconds
yesterday,
remaining.
even. But yeah, generally it's like the Zai
5
full position
seconds
Enigma. A Universe
remaining.
can, so you're not entirely wrong there, but
God, they're just going to get Void and just screw with my
Reserve
mind.
time.
not today get Jakiro. I
That's
think
Universe's...
that's
God,
solid.
there's so many
That's
Universe
Universe's
heroes.
Jakiro. There we go. He's gonna swap teams and bring out his inner Peruvian.
I think this draft is all about EG not getting too greedy. Not today, just drafting a lot of team fight in early game. So the more team fight that not today drafts, EV Geniuses has to counter with more team fight, and they just need to make sure that they can take the fight to not today early. And that's Enigma's pretty good at doing that, I'd say. They do want some sort of push too to put pressure on the lanes, and both teams have that
5
with
seconds
Jakiro and
remaining.
Enigma on not today and Evil Geniuses respectively.
Yeah. And like Enigma, sure, it's kind of
Reserve
sounds
time.
greedy a lot of the time, but it's if you get like your early fast levels and then kind of
Team
contribute with the fast mech for your team, so it's not necessarily a greedy pick. But if you get your jungle shut down, then you have to play much greedier and kind of farm oriented. Man, look what's up with this headset wearing from Fog?
He just doesn't want to hear his teammates.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he wanted
He's
to hear,
talking to himself right now. Promise you. They look very tired.
They had one request this morning.
I
It
see
was
Anti-Mage on his screen.
Remaining.
They're about to pick Anti-Mage.
Oh, you're
Or
right.
they're banning it.
banning.
Yes.
5 seconds
Would they ban it
remaining.
against? Would EG play anti-mage?
No, because Death Prophet was picked for RTZ.
Yeah. That's actually with
Reserve
Death Prophet.
time.
EG are not going anti-mage with the Death Prophet. I think that's more likely a not today pick. Get an EWO anti-mage. So not today's one request this morning was some gum.
Gum.
Anyone got any gum? Do you have gum?
They don't want my gum. It's seriously garbage, but yeah, I have. You're going to go bring it up to them right now? They're going
If
to
we
use it
can
while they play?
Get one of the admins down here. We could.
Well, who are the admins? Because Sagidine's, she has gum.
Anti-mage.
That's where I get all my gum.
all right.
you know?
Well, I can't remember.
Oh,
I
they
had,
actually
I had,
picked?
oh, well, the other admin, John, came down and it's like, do you have any gum?
Oh, we saw it coming!
Wow. These casters.
All right. So AM.
Screen cheating. Easy.
What if EG like just did pop up the street and be like, oh, we've got this. They're picking anti-mage. Guess what? You can't stop them picking
10
anti-mage.
seconds remaining.
They still take it either
Really?
way.
Fourth pick
I feel like they have a
Anti-Mage.
decent team against Anti-Mage. I mean, once he picks up like a Manta, he can take off some of the silences, but
AM's good against the Death
Reserve
Prophet. Like, you
time.
have the burst from the Mana Void in some ways, but...
I feel like they have decent lockdown for them too. They have 2 silences, they have casks, they have black hole, and they have the physical damage to dump into it too. So I think Anti-Mage is decent, but not particularly good in this draft. They also have
Yeah.
like 3 melee, which makes it a little bit difficult versus 4 ranged.
It almost feels like they're going to play a more split push heavy anti-mage style. Like, they like look at EG with Death Prophet Enigma, and they say, okay, they're going to look to group up as 5 with X's and push down a lane, send anti-mage somewhere else, have him split push as fast as possible, force those TPs back, and just delay EG using that kind of a
10
gameplay.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I do like his general, what he brings to the table for
5
not today's
seconds
lineup,
remaining.
because they kind of want to avoid fights. And once he gets his Manta style silences, not completely irrelevant, but not very useful. And he does have that big ultimate, Stop Witch Doctor through BKB, ulti, Ags, Enigma as well. So pretty good. Death Prophet also has a very large mana pool, so does Enigma. Both prime mana void targets.
have we seen Brood more than once this
10
tournament?
seconds
It was the offlane
remaining.
for Ice Ice
I
Ice.
think it's just been once.
Yeah, just the one time.
5
I think
Respecting
in
that
some of the
hero.
BO5s it may pop out. Depending which teams, like Vici Gaming have shown they can use it. I think Secret are a team who would be
Reserve
inclined to maybe pick it up.
When you're EG, you don't want any surprises.
Yeah.
Right? You want your opposing team, your underdog, to play very standard Dota with standard heroes. 'cause
I
that's
think
what you're best
EG
against.
and Cloud9 will both be doing some Brood bans like in this
10
fifth slot
seconds
especially.
remaining.
Cloud9 don't really have a Brood player per se.
Evil
Envy talked a bit about it.
Stands ready.
Ooh,
Sven.
is that a fear Sven?
I think this is a fear puck. Like they do this like universe Sven in the offlane kind of thing, like a Sven Witch Doctor maybe.
Really?
I guess alternatively you just offlane the puck and do Sven Witch Doctor safe lane.
I think
Yeah.
it's
They do
Universe
both.
Puck,
Yeah.
Fear Sven. Like you said, Zai Enigma.
Hmm.
I want to see an offlane Phoenix, even though it's not very good. I want to see it.
And the good thing about this draft is like if Enigma gets his jungle camps blocked, he
10
can just go to the
seconds
offlane with the
remaining.
puck or whatever it may be, and just
Legion
deny there and
Commander.
get some levels.
Ooh.
Well, some good
Legion
counter push.
Commander.
I don't know if I like the Legion Commander here.
Yeah, I'm like, good counter push, that's about the extent.
She's really poor at man fighting versus Sven, firstly. And he has like a ton of armor with Warcry, a ton of right click with God Strength. There are a lot of things that you do need to press the attack against, but I mean, it's something that they're comfortable with, right? We've seen them pick Ember Spirit when it hasn't been the best pick just because they feel very confident playing with it, and Smash plays it a lot. But,
The PPD GLHF comes out, this time at least before First Blood.
He is such a nice young man.
He's a changed man.
He has been trying.
You know,
He's less salty than usual.
he's
honestly.
someone who I would hang out with in real life. Like, as much flack as he sometimes gets from the community, he's just like a really chill, down-to-earth guy.
I think that's, for the most part, that's EG in general.
Yeah.
I mean, when they play, they get very, I don't know if emo is the right word. They do get emo, though, that's for sure. Like, after they lose. I mean, just look at them after the game. They're all depressed and just look awful.
Buena suerte, good
What's
luck.
that mean, Shannon?
Y tu también, pasen. I don't know. I took 2 years of Spanish, and I know almost
I know
nothing.
Buena suerte is good luck.
Okay.
30 seconds to battle.
I mean, we're getting some translations coming in. So it will be the Universe Puck, Zai, Enigma, and the Lotus Sven. Universe looked like he just went orbing up there to get down an early observer ward.
Do you think they're required to use that courier?
EG?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's in their contract. You have to use this courier.
I don't know about in their contract, but I would say it's like there's a lot of pressure on them to use this
Right.
courier. It's like,
It's a pretty good looking courier.
That's not bad.
you know, it's my saddest thing that Ehug, the Pandego, stopped playing for Ehug because he would always use the Elgato courier. It was my
Well, there's
favorite
more
puck.
people use that. We've seen a lot of the
Okay.
Husky this tournament
Yeah,
as well.
Husky's been big. So, early Fissure block. This will help out the offline. It looks like not today are going to send the Earthshaker down bottom with the Legion. Wow.
That's a really good ward. Not to get into cosmetics again. You know how much I love cosmetics. That bat ward's pretty sick. So yeah, Universe offlane on the puck. He's using
That's a sick block from Universe.
the S4 set. Big
That's-
fans of well, now Team Secret.
It's pretty easy lane for Puck, I'd say. He's, I think, the best solo hero against Jakiro because he can dodge Liquid Fire. I think the only hero that can do so consistently without, you know, blinking and whatnot. So that's pretty good for him. Earthshaker had that early block on bottom, but still not going to be a terribly easy lane for LC.
That's actually a good point. Puck's going to be able to get levels pretty easily in that lane. 'Cause
Yeah.
even if, like you said, he can dodge Liquid Fire, but Liquid Fire is going to be used to push, and, well, Puck's fine just sitting by the tower, leeching
Yeah.
XP.
And they had the Enigma to deny the first creep in the first wave, so he'll
Yeah.
get easy level 2.
Nice to be played by Mihawk. He does stop the double pull and can guarantee himself some CS, some farm here, but
What do you guys think of this hero in general? I feel like it's such a snowball hero. Very hard to come back once you get off to like a terrible start, if you get off to a terrible start.
It
It's-
depends on what heroes you're up against, I'd say.
it's not really. I don't think you can ever rely on it to be a carry, like, unless you're playing it safe lane and really playing around it. But when you put in the off lane, you're just kind of using it more for like the blink duel lockdown and not expecting Legion to be able to solo kill heroes.
Well, he's going to be taking a ton of damage here, but has the move speed to... Okay, well, the
He's
cast
holding
is
on
going
to the
connect.
heal. He waited a really long time to use that heal.
Well, that was a fortunate bounce from the cask as well.
Yeah,
But
I-
that... yeah, I think he got off 2 casks in that engagement.
I didn't see. Sorry.
I think he started off with the
looking at
cask
heal
and then
cooldown.
ended with the cask, I believe.
Well, that was the easy first blood for him. A little bit too easy.
Yeah.
Well, at least he
Back
doesn't.
already. He doesn't lose any experience.
Mhm.
That's the advantage of being like level 2.
Well, Universe at top. He's doing alright. He's level 2.5. It looks like he may not get too much more out of this lane, though, as it's been pulled way back. With an anti-mage, you're not really interested at all in pushing out the lane. You just want to... Actually, that's a double creep wave, so... But not today. I think maybe just creep pull is going to actually get Universe a decent chunk of XP once this pushes out.
Going fast forwarding to late game though, the Sven versus anti-mage match, I think Sven like crushes anti-mage. The illusions don't really matter. He doesn't actually need mana to once he casts his 3 spells, and he does a lot more physical damage. But the problem is actually getting to that main fight scenario where AM won't push you down. So they really need to get farmed on Ewo to put split push pressure on EG.
Yeah.
Which is looking pretty good at this point. 18 CS for him.
He has no real way of man fighting. Not just Sven, but Death Prophet, Exorcism, Enigma Black Hole, and like this is just not
Oh,
gonna be
wow.
a fun game.
That is a lot of damage. What do you think about this, the AM and Shakira actually pushing this lane. So if they push it down, it's going to open up Puck for even more experience. But at the same time, does it open up possible ganks onto Anti-Mage, or is it too early for that?
I don't think they're gonna.
They don't
really
need a push.
Yeah.
They need a stack is
Yeah.
far more important.
I think, yeah, stacking neutral camps with Earthshaker. We haven't seen Earthshaker in any lane because he's been stacking it. He stacked the double camp earlier. He's been stacking this pull, so I think stacking and pulling is going to be the bigger emphasis. And that play there where they're blinking behind the tier 1 isn't to help them push. It's just to zone out the Puck purely. Like, slow down Puck's level progress.
See, PBD's very careful about his cast usage. He doesn't want to use it on a solo hero if it's not going to lead to a kill. Just waits for the creep wave.
As far as mid goes, Ortiz topping the CS over the Brewmaster by 7 CS. Not a big concern for the Brewmaster per se, and there's some of the stacks that the Earthshaker's been doing, which probably more so for the Anti-Mage, although Brew can slowly farm it. If Brew falls behind and is desperate for a Blink Dagger, he may take it himself, but number 1 priority is going to be the Anti-Mage.
So 1-2-0 build, slightly unusual. You see 1-1-1 far more.
Yeah.
But so this is already a slightly more aggressive, I'd say. The 1-1-1's way better for farming. But
Even getting the you get the treads as well, so he's definitely looking to be aggressive. Wonder if he'll even pick up like a second point in the mana break early.
it doesn't scale very well. I would say max blink over that.
And they actually are going to pressure this tower.
Do you think that's risky? Like once they take out the tower, obviously, like I said, Puck gets more experience as a result. Anti-Mage can stay in that lane technically. I mean, what can they do to lock him down this early?
You can take the tower and then just pull it back and static farm it with the Anti-Mage, but the tower gold isn't as impressive as it was like in the previous patch. So I just feel like the gold you get from it isn't that really doesn't actually help your early game that much. Maybe
I think what they really want to do is force someone else to come to the lane, like Enigma to come and defend or Witch Doctor, but that's not going to happen. I don't even think they care.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
he's
not
doing pretty
worth it
well.
for them.
Boots bottle, 1k gold. So is as far as Sven itemization goes, I don't think he needs to go for anything like a fast blink. Is this just going to be like a treads, a drums, kind of more normal Sven items, or what do you think, Ben?
He needs BKB at some point for sure, right? Versus BKB or versus a Brewmaster or Earthshaker, like you can't really go on these heroes.
I don't think it's a first item.
I don't think it's the first item either. I think it's okay since the Anti-Mage is going on fighting build. He can go fighting build too. So like Treads Drums or Treads Mask Madness. Blink
He made
is
it Midas. I feel like this isn't that bad of a Midas game.
Oh boy, the smoke is found out. Find Arteezy with the Ice Path. Lose your orbs to help out though. Universe trying to take out the Earthshaker, who's now on the run. Looks like that's going to be the kill going the way of EG. And it looks to be the end of this engage. Uh-oh, Fear is here with that haste that we saw, but the Brewmaster pops his ult, disjoints the stun as a result. Fear's stunned now. He's in a horrible position if he's not very careful. But of course, that haste
Gotta be careful.
is there to help with.
I mean, they're fighting into ghosts. Do you see RTZ's position? He's like way behind enemy line. Everyone else is just ignoring the Brew ultimate, and he's already gotten 2 kills. You can see a stun on Smash, and this is just ending up terribly. That was even a nice Stormbolt dodge from him.
They're going to lose Universe, it looks like. He's out of mana. No,
He's not going to go any deeper, I don't think.
There's a black... You would solo Black Hole that and just right-click him down, potentially, so... yeah, EG bring in their entire team to the mid lane, and with good reason.
I told you not today's going to win this game.
The big thing that went wrong there is just like the smoke got revealed, but it should have been obvious it was going to get revealed because it was the 6-minute mark. So Arteezy was heading to the top rune to go for the rune, and the problem is they revealed the smoke and Smash wasn't in range for a clap plus split. So they throw out a fissure, they throw out an ice path, and there's no follow-up from Brew, who's the only one with any killing power.
And the Brewmaster split was used defensively too. They really need to be able to like, okay, fissure into clap into ult, and then get a kill on the Death Prophet. And with the first one kind of wasted like that, it really sets a bad tone for Not Today. And if Puck gets a Blink Dagger at a reasonable timing, it's going to be extremely difficult for Not Today to win team fights. They're already lacking on team fight, I'd say, with the LC and the AM, so they really need the Brew to
Speaking
do
of LC,
most of the heavy lifting.
he's going to get Storm Bolted. Cask soon to follow, I'm sure. Do they have enough damage to finish him off is the question. Fear. They have enough move speed to catch up. That's for damn sure. And the Cask just keeps bouncing.
That was... yeah, that wasn't even a lucky cast. That was just happened... his positioning, killed off the creep, went back to the hero, went to another creep, and... they're going to farm this stack now. It's actually Smash who's taking it, so... if Smash had a good... if they win that fight and Smash is winning the mid lane, he doesn't need to take this stack, and you can leave it later on for the Anti-Mage, but... they have to play just so defensive that Smash is like, I gotta take this now.
I feel like even LC could use some of that jungle farm as well.
Yeah.
Fast Blink Dagger on him. Or her. I miss the horse and the big mustache, not gonna lie. That is my biggest gripe in Dota 2.
That LC is a woman.
Yeah. No, it's not the fact that... I mean, she
Yeah,
could be a
yeah.
woman
No,
on a
as in
horse.
LC isn't that.
As long as
the
she has a
same LC.
she has a mustache.
Okay.
I don't care if it's a she. She has a mustache and
I'm
she's
okay
on a
with
huge
that.
horse. That would be terrific. Nobody would complain about that.
I did like the LC model in Dota 1.
That was probably my favorite
It's pretty
in the
cool.
game.
He does look like a Legion Commander.
Yeah. They can just add that to somebody else. I don't care who it is. Give somebody that huge horse.
I mean, that's kind of like Pitlord's. Well, Pitlord is the horse. What is Pitlord? He's
He's like
a mono, something.
he's a pit lord, I think.
What is he? Pitlord.
Pit lord's a pit lord.
All right.
Isn't he like Commander
The
of the
logic is
Abyss or
sound.
something?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know, something like that.
He doesn't ride a horse though. Like
He's got that big.
he is.
cleaving.
Well, he could ride
he's
like
almost
a
like a fat centaur.
like a dead horse, like Abaddon.
I feel like, have you seen not the Heroes of the Storm, like Pudge riding the horse where he's like just.
I don't
huge.
endorse
Well,
other
every-
games here.
Everyone,
We're not endorsing
everyone rides a
anything.
horse in that game. I thought.
I
Wasn't
know.
That
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing. I was.
Well, it's just like
it looks-
a huge
it looks
creature that
ridiculous,
rides a
yeah.
tiny horse. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Smoke Inc. attempted on Fear.
A horse is like the boots of speed in that game. Is that why everyone gets one?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. Oh, fear.
That's
Well,
a dual
that's gonna
kill
be
as
a duel.
That's a
Almost
good game.
not. That took a long time actually. 4v1.
That's a really nice gank. They didn't even have to use the Brew ulti, so EG at this point don't really. I mean, they want to hold on to the tier 1 bottom tower, but they're not going to look to take a fight.
You could tell that Fear knew something funny was up too. He wouldn't have storm bolted the wave unless he just wanted to clear it fast and then back off to the
Yeah.
tower. But I think he expected it to come like maybe 10 seconds later.
Dire's middle tower
Well, the
is
Zai
under
Enigma
attack.
treads Soul Ring halfway to his mech, so he's well on pace to have a
Dire's
good early game
courier has
presence.
been killed.
Oh,
Goodbye,
courier.
Courier.
Whose courier was that?
The Dire. Nothing on it. I'm not sure where. But died at bottom. Oh, it's micro. Died at bottom lane to the tier 1 tower. It looks like small things, but like these small things when you're behind, just they add up.
Enigma almost done with that mech. It's gonna be a pretty quick mech, and unfortunately the block is there, so
Yeah.
no duel.
I don't think
Don't think they had enough damage though.
Jewel wouldn't have gotten a kill there anyways.
They had THG right behind too.
Okay. So Antimage is behind Artesian Farm. Not that I don't think that's your biggest concern right now, but it's more the pace of the game and just getting your blink on your Brewmaster, getting Antimage towards his Battle Fury, which is still not gonna be that fast of Battle Fury, especially considering he went for these treads.
Unless he has something in his stash or courier, perhaps.
He's gone like full, like he's not getting any stats. He's gone 2-4-1 build on the Anti-Mage, which is definitely not the farming Anti-Mage build. Which I think when you're behind like this, you got to go farming, split
Radiant's
push
top
focus,
tower
not
is under attack.
more fight heavy with the max blink.
Well, Arteezy picks up his Yules. That could be pretty amazing against the duel if he's not the one dueled, of course.
It's really good versus Anti-Mage and Brew too. Just
Who's it not good against, honestly? The Yules is so... Like, actually, why is it
It's
being
not
picked
that
up
good
so much
versus
more common?
Puck.
Like, it's much more common now than it was, let's say, a year ago.
well,
There's the 100 damage or whatever it is.
that's
added to
really
the-
important because
the
Blink
top
Daggers are really popular now, right? So you need some sort of counter to Blink Dagger, which is usually Blink Dagger yourself or Yules, which is one of the few ones that are really good against it. Hex is too expensive. Atos doesn't do any damage, so they still blink out anyways. And
A
yeah,
lot
if
of
you,
core items coming up now.
if you get like BKB and just try and man fight, they'll just kite you too. So
Yeah, so the mech on the Enigma and the blink on the Puck come up at the same time, and
Dire's middle tower is under
wow.
attack.
the Puck is only level 7 though, so the Puck is, despite having a blink already, isn't actually like he doesn't have that max or plus Waning Rift.
Yeah, so his burst
Actually,
damage
max
is
the
not
orb, and like when you got your blink, normally you want to have like the max silence, like you blink in for that max silence duration, but levels kind of working somewhat against some of these EG heroes.
And this is where Not Today needs to do something big. This is a nice smoke.
They got to use the ulti. No, maybe not. Smash is it's on cooldown.
Wow,
dear.
that's a really good Witch Doctor ult. Who's
Oh,
going to win
dear.
the duel? It goes to Zai. Unbelievable. In fact, they're going to clean up Smash
Oh,
as well with the
dear.
Universe on the back end. That is truly unfortunate for each. I mean,
Dire's top tower
in hindsight, the
Disaster.
Brew ult should have been used,
It
but...
was on cooldown.
Oh, it was on
I
cooldown.
didn't realize it was on cooldown, but yeah, it was.
they also set up for a hold too. It looked like he could have hold all three of them right there.
Yeah. Arteezy just takes a tier 1 top tower, and actually finds Iwo here, but killing him not going to be easy.
Yules in
Yeah,
silence,
silence.
with ghosts.
Yeah, his
time.
ghosts are gone now.
And he wasn't going to get the kill even if he hit the silence. And Puck finds another pickup at the bottom lane.
But here we see like Enigma useful as a tank. You usually just think of him for the black holes, but I mean he tanked there for so long. He had the extra armor from Mech coming out too, and very nice positioning by PVD to save him there.
So AM's on track for about I would say 16-minute Battle Fury.
Yeah.
You think that's, I mean, that's later than you would like? I mean, considering how much pressure he's seen, which isn't very much, honestly, he could have just gone straight Battle Fury in hindsight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that would be the right move, though. What would you have done, Ben?
I mean, the way the lane was going, they were putting a lot of pressure on the Puck. He got a lot of the first wave, but after that, Jakiro was doing a very good job of zoning him out. So if you're not under any pressure or harass from him, you could just go straight for Battle Fury. It's easy to talk about in hindsight, though. I think he expected a lot more fighting up there. But, I mean, with an Enigma on the opposing team, you don't really expect to be messed with that much, right? So even if the Witch Doctor comes in, it's not that big of a deal.
We're going to miss the Ice Path here. TC's just been sent top to kind of fight with this anti-mage and just not give him, at least make it so he can't free farm.
What a nice looking ward there.
Alright.
Indeed.
Little bat ward.
Love that thing. That was in the chest before ours, I think.
That's a nice looking EG ward.
Is that the summit ward?
I think it is. You know, I
It
said
is.
it because I
EG.
thought it was a summit ward, but then I'm like, I don't know 100% if it is. I don't actually know what our wards
Brian
look
saying,
like.
you don't even know your own ward, gods. Unbelievable.
Uh-oh, there
man.
might find Arteezy over here. Fogs is checking everywhere.
Except there.
Oh, no.
That's awkward.
And Arteezy
Okay.
just casually walks away.
So I guess he's going for Lincoln's? Or, I mean, Scythe?
It could even be Lincoln's just for the duel, honestly. That wouldn't be awful. But Sheep 6 like almost never
Yeah,
bad.
because I guess the one, like when the 5-man push happens, the one thing Notte can do is try blow up the Death Prophet with a Blink Jewel, but...
I mean, if you think about it,
What do you
Legion
have to
Commander
break
has to
it?
get a BKB, because
You have so few
if she
spells to
goes
break
onto the Lincolns,
yeah.
Lincolns will be broken in, best case scenario for EG, of course, by the duel. And if she's forced to go on somebody else, he can just Yule's Legion Commander every time.
There's actually nothing to break the Lincolns, apart from the Brewmaster Boulder Toss or something.
Fissure used to. I think they fixed that, though, right?
Cyclone on Brew.
That's a big problem, though, because, I mean, the Brewmaster's going to go in for a Blink Clap ulti or whatever, but...
I mean, do you really want to be dueling the
There's
Death
that
Prophet
delay.
anyways?
Before Exorcism, maybe. But, yeah, I guess maybe not.
You ideally just want to blow her up with a Shaker. Like, Shaker with the AM Blink, and then that's that.
Uh-oh. Arteezy's getting a Thunderclap. Nice silence. A big block from the Earthshaker, and the
he's gonna
Brew's
go for
finally going to
split.
use the ult. Arteezy
No Echo Slam, though, so...
looks to be dead.
But how long
He's
has
got no
Arteezy
TP
been
supply.
parked in this top lane?
Yeah,
Like, it's
that's
been
true.
so long,
they actually-
he's gotten enough
Yeah,
fire.
they can keep that kill out.
I mean, in the meantime, Sven got a kill on Legion Commander. Space was created to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been taking them a long time to get these pickoffs.
Yeah, it really has been. They've spent too many heroes. Ideally, you just want AM constantly pushing out that lane and farming up that jungle with all four of the other heroes, getting kills on Sven or something like that. But
Oh my. Mask of Madness, ult from Sven, and 3-shot. Down goes Fogged. And probably transition this into a tier 2 as well.
Yeah, I don't see not. They know the Brewmaster split's on cooldown. That's the other thing. Like, sure, TZ dies, but the fact that to use a Brewmaster split means T2 tower should be taken.
So Fear did go, he went Blink, Mask of Madness, now going for BKB, so going for a very fight-heavy build.
he also went Max Cleave. It's very unusual to see a Max
Oh, that's
Cleave
true.
over Max
Yeah.
Warcry. I think he was doing Ancient Stacks earlier, which is somewhat better against. But the low cooldown on Warcry is really, really good.
Alright, Battle Fury now up. But, I mean, from the Not Today side, yeah, 10k net worth difference already, so... This is going to be rough. And this is, I kind of like that the Death Prophet was just sitting top, because something, if you group up as 5 as EG, that's where that anti-mage will actually keep pressuring that top lane. Free farming away in his jungle, the top lane, blinking behind the T2 tower, and just forcing rotations back.
Well,
There's
Anti-Mage
smoke
far, far behind.
This is 1 core versus 4 cores at this point.
Oh boy, Fear's going to jump right into Nighthawk. Nice Drunken Haze is going to get some miss action, but it's just too many. The numbers are there for EG. And they could transition this into yet another tower. I mean, Arteezy has the ult if they really want to use it. Smash. Doesn't have his primal split. He's at half HP already. He's going to be forced back to the fountain.
Brewmaster
Anti-Mage is pushing top,
has
though.
been like super ineffective this game too. It was their first pick, and most teams are somewhat scared of Brew on Smash. But
I mean, they could anticipate that they were going to pick that because
yeah,
they obviously gave
they
it
really
away,
did.
right?
EG and PBD knew what they were doing with the draft.
Oh my god, he's going to get this. One more hit's going to do it, but the blink out.
He's
5
actually chasing.
seconds. Wow, he is so fast.
If he walked the right direction, he could blink chase the anti-mage there.
Ah, that was close.
But he could have tried to track him and then see where he blinked and use his blink, but nah, not gonna get it.
Bog's going to take the ult from... Oh, okay, he might actually be able to
We're
TP out
chucked
here.
it too far, yeah.
Do you take the break when you TP back? You do, right?
Yeah, you take the damage back at Fountain. So sometimes you'll like see the TP out and then the hero dies in Fountain.
Yeah, that is super annoying. Man, lots of summit wards littered across the map, man. And the Huskies in this game, too. Oh, boy. TPD. Wrong place, wrong time. But that does
No
take an
big deal.
entire team, basically, to kill a support.
Yeah.
Not exactly what you're... Well, maybe they can get this tier 1.
Does LC even have any dual damage? I think he has like
He has
one on
one.
bottom.
That was like
Yeah.
the first one, like, right off the bat, too.
Enigma's won a duel. Like we've only seen. Yeah.
That's rough.
They at least get the tower here. Smash getting the goal. And other big problem is not that they don't really have any like items coming that are going to help things for them. I feel like Mihawk maybe has a blink on LC or something is nice and all, but at the end of the day you're under leveled, you're under farmed, and you can't really fight into EG, who now have a BKB on their Sven.
I'd say Blink on Shaker is by far the most important, and that way they can get ganks off without without having to use a smoke and without having to commit so many heroes. With Blink Shaker, you can kill Puck with like usually even solo Shaker. And then you have one less hero split pushing you, more room to farm for AM. So it's a long road for not today.
So Lincoln's was the choice for RTZ. So you were talking about how you didn't like duel, particularly against Death Prophet. But if you have a Blade Mail, it's actually pretty good, even with the Exorcism up, because she's kind of hurting herself at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe he's anticipating that possibility, although the farm's not quite there for not today at the moment. But I don't know. That could be pretty strong.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, we're talking about EG with so much team fight. They have a lot of ways to control the duel on top of just the Lincolns.
This is a good move. When you're this far behind, you need some kind of catch up, and you don't want to find the EG's 5-man. This Roche here is the smart play from not today. It's just a small thing. It's not going to be. It's not going to instantly get them back in the game, but it's definitely kind of the right step to take.
And there's the Earthshaker blink.
All right. They can defend high ground end of the day. The problem is, are they even going to win late game with Anti-Mage against Death Prophet, Sven, Enigma? I don't think things are going to necessarily turn around for them, even if they can stall this game and defend high ground.
Well, where's their damage coming out from? Earthshaker's still pretty low level, I'd say. I don't even think he's level 11.
ulti, yeah.
Anti-Mage doesn't have Manta yet, does he?
Oh,
that's
wow. Very early
yeah.
BKB.
That was I think he meant to use mech there.
Yeah, most likely.
After the nukes, he was going to just mech up.
Well,
and
they have
rock
like
hockey.
they have an Echo Slam and a mini Echo Slam with Legion Commanders, so we'll see if that's enough to clear this.
Well, they're going to lose the tower. They get some money from the tier 2 at bottom, but Smash doesn't even get his ulti off.
Wow. Big Echo Slam, though, on a couple
Disaster.
universe. Gets blown up to the Mana Void, but 2 dead right off the bat for not today. It's a 2-for-1, and Fear's just going to BKB. Objective-based gaming, going for that Rax. It looks to be a very easy one going his way.
That was a great silence by Universe. He's the one who got the silence on Smash when he came in with the clap.
And down it goes. I mean, not today just has to give this up. They don't
Yeah.
want to lose any more. And EG's going to be content with the melee going down.
It looked like the Roshan was going to be fine, but by the time they cleared Roshan, it just took them so long that EG were already casting X's and making their way into the high ground, and not today need to be in position to like fissure block the wave, or the ramp, and just spam the Legion Commander nuke among other things, which they weren't really doing. It's a Manta style for your Anti-Mage, but he's not fighting end of the day against into this EG lineup. Everything for him is split push focused.
Yeah, I mean, Earthshaker and THT are both pretty good at defending high ground. I mean, what does Smash do at this point, though? I guess he needs BKB to get off his ultimate. I mean, they could also blink in with LC and then press the attack and then go in for a split after that, since I doubt they'll be quick
Well, he
enough to
did use
react with the second
Thunderclap
silence.
first,
Yeah.
and then Primal Split, so maybe before the BKB's picked up, just Primal Split.
Yeah.
right off the bat.
Yeah, that was the end of it. You just don't have time to use the clap into split against the number of silence that, and the amount of silence that EG have. The puck being an insta cast as well.
Or even just the Yules from Death Prophet.
So you can Malefice as well. Like you get the Malefice mid primal split cast, it can mess it up. Just so buys you a little time to then get the silence off, whatever it may be. Not a fun game for a brew.
Looks like Not Today wants to take a tier 1 or perhaps get a gank off, but the smoke was thwarted. They really want to use this Aegis to the highest effect. I mean, they don't want to just have him farm with the Aegis, right? They want to try to get... got to take advantage of what you have, which is a second life. And now, with a Blink Dagger on Zai...
They just want to dissuade EG from pushing.
Yeah.
So, like, the Aegis doesn't really matter that much.
They'll lose a 6v5 fight, even in Anti-Mage having 2 lives.
They have to split push and force EG to, like, okay, well, we got to defend our towers, but he's not split
There's no split push happening right now. Like, bottom lane, top lane, both in good position. If Fog's maybe just going to try to snipe the courier on its way back, but even that's not easy.
Ooh, we can get a free bottle, too. Get it! Yes!
Got it.
Empty bottle going the way of Fog. Do they realize what's happening? His Mana Void's popped. Destroys the Witch Doctor. Here comes the silence.
Good
Anti-Mage getting extremely low.
He had the Aegis, but he'd rather save that for the high ground defense.
Yeah, but Smash now. He's okay.
Yeah, I think the press the attack usage has got to be absolutely perfect to be able to win the... No, it's not about winning the fight, it's just about not losing the fight and losing your racks. Like, I think even if Not Today execute perfectly, they're going to get like maybe a 2-for-2 trade or something defending high ground. And just buy themselves some time to keep farming out the Anti-Mage and keep split pushing.
Well, Age is still on the AM as we talked about. Didn't want to pop it. Probably for the best. They might actually run into Zai and Arteezy. Urshick is completely silenced and will in all likelihood go down before getting off anything, and he does.
Zai's out of mana here, but if Anti-Mage blinks in, he can just BKB for the mana void.
Well, there's the Yules into a silence.
Waning Rift is up soon, I believe. He blinks out, he gets coil stun, so... Okay, he's going to blink Noah. This is going to be risky.
Man, this is big-time kiting. Holy jeez.
Well, who's kiting who, I guess, is the question.
That's true. Well, he's been abandoned by his teammates.
All right.
I thought they had the numbers, but...
I'm not sure. EG, maybe the rest of them just got a bit distracted there, but... They obviously don't have the same mobility of a Puck. So Puck's like, all right, my teammates are with me. I'm just going to orb and then blink after, and surely they'll back me up, but...
not Zai, Universe is brooding right now. I've heard they're a very quiet team, even when they're like winning or losing. They're extremely quiet, and they silently rage.
Okay.
They're a silent raging team.
I've seen, sometimes like when we see the camera shot after the game, like there'll be some minimal talking, but it'll be like PPD will say like 1 or 2 like short remarks, and Fear maybe will, but you never see like an actual physical response. Like, I mean PPD muttering a word or 2 to his team, but
it seems like if they're frustrated, which they're not right now, but if they're frustrated, they kind of hold it in, they bottle it up.
Yeah.
It's not healthy, man. You got to let it out. Now Cloud9 lets it out big time. Like after the game, even if it's a win, they berate each other for like 5-10 minutes, and then they're good to go. It is actually. I mean,
they
quite
berate
healthy.
themselves. That's one of the big things with that team. Is
they're
that
quite
very
self-deprecating. For sure.
And I think that's a big thing, is being able to take that criticism and realize, hey, these guys, they're on your team, that you're trying to achieve the same thing, but sometimes you got to just be accept it for what it is, and hey, you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Shit happens. Yeah.
Nobody's perfect, Envy. Okay? Crystal Maidens can be picked. He really hates that hero. I couldn't believe how much he was raging over that hero, but it was entertaining to say the least.
I think CM's okay.
I think she's not bad.
I wouldn't even say she's like bottom 10th percentile. She's maybe like bottom 20th.
Envy said if he picked CM for Pilot I would quit the team. That's gold.
I mean, it can be a very frustrating hero to play, for sure. I mean, just being ridiculously slow to begin with.
I wouldn't mind my captain picking me CM if I just get to AFK from the jungle.
Yeah, that is true.
Or at least the first feel. If I have to go lane, then I'm just like, no, screw this. I just want to get like my safe level 3, find my boots in jungle, then I'm happy. But EG trying to break another lane of racks here, and the T3 tower already down nice and low. This is very kind of 6.18-esque with the kind of Death Prophet, 5-man Death Ball, and EG bringing back a kind of old playstyle and showing that it still works pretty damn well.
Oh, this Rax is dead. I mean, what can they do? Fortification's already popped. BKB now by Fury. He's just going to take it out solely. Anti-Mage is forced back into his base, and they lose it for absolutely nothing. There's no trade in sight.
You got a T3 on bottom, right?
Did they get the whole thing? No,
Uh,
half of it. So
well-
half damage on the tier 3 for full
I
Rax.
think as much as it was for nothing, I think the alternative was you lose the game. Like
Is
if
there
you,
still
if
an
you engage
Aegis
into that,
on Anti-Mage?
I mean, but
Would've
when,
expired by
you can't
now.
let 2 racks
Yeah.
fall without a serious defense, right? You have to go for the play sometimes. Go for a duel, hope for the best. Maybe. I mean,
I feel like if you're not going to use the Aegis on AM, well, of course they can't see this ahead of time.
it's already
but-
it's
Secure
expired
top.
at this point.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it's a shame they didn't get to use it in some capacity.
Well, I mean, EG's really good about playing around their cooldowns, right? You won't see them take a fight without DP ultimate. You won't see them take a really bad fight versus the Aegis too.
there's
So-
just so much good back. Like EG have Sven and then Death Prophet on the high ground. Sven's in melee range of their X. Death Prophet's kind of in that 600 range away. And then if you engage on either of those two heroes, there's a Blink BKB Enigma. There's a Witch Doctor Cask. There's just the Death Ward to worry about. Like, sure, you can maybe Mana Void, break the black hole, but then there's a Death Ward on top of you. There's a Puck blinking with a silence. There's just so much teamfight control that there's no way not to take. Like, maybe you kill the Sven there, but you're going to get team wiped. So, I'm not sure what the answer is going to be. I don't even know what item's going to be best for Ewo here. Maybe it's a BKB just so we can team fight, but it's going to be. But
I
so
think
much damage goes through BKB.
Yeah, it's still probably the right choice, though. I mean, it's like
Yeah, I'd agree it's the right choice.
the
with all
best
the
of what you
silence.
have with what you're given. I
I
don't know.
think Butterfly might be better. It's really good versus Sven and Exorcism and Witch Doctor.
Does it actually dodge Exorcism?
Yeah, I think so.
You sure?
Evasion.
I didn't think it.
I
did,
don't think
though.
it does. I don't
Nope.
think it works on Death Ward either.
Observer says it works on Death Ward. Yeah.
No, I don't think it works on Death
No?
Ward either.
What?
No.
You can like win run versus Exorcism.
All right, I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I was pretty sure.
DK Observer says no. I believe in him.
I'm fairly sure.
Death
Death Ward,
yeah.
yes.
Exorcism, no.
no.
Okay.
That's okay. I feel like that sounds right. All right.
Well, Ichi's gonna get the Aegis.
You still get the armor from Butterfly Ben, so you get some plus armor versus Exorcism.
Easy armor.
You can
Yeah.
click Butterfly and run faster,
Yeah, get away.
because the evasion doesn't work right in that case.
Here we go. Aegis. Gonna go Death Prophet. He's got Harder Terras.
They do
2K
this a
gold.
lot. They put Aegis on heroes that don't typically, like, it's not a very... Actually, I'd say this is the worst hero in the game to give Aegis to.
It's not so much like, sure, your ulti you don't get it when you respawn, but your opponent still had to put in 2.6k worth of damage to kill this hero, and then he's still alive. And Death Prophet can still help out and beat tank and be in the front lines.
Well, I think the more
after
important thing is they can
respawning.
actually push it just without the Exorcism, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
So
This
she
game
can just
is
tank
better.
it up without the Exorcism.
I think it's just about putting it on a frontline hero who's really
She's
tanky.
going to pop it now. All right.
Yeah.
There's
And
the
look, they can
Lincolns.
just do this. Like, sure, you can blow up the Death Prophet and maybe break the Exorcism, but then you have the Sven who can push.
Yeah.
You have the Enigma.
Oh, when you
which
have
is
when you have the
pushing
farm and XP advantage that they do, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter who you put it on. At this
They
point.
can't even kill RTC once. They're not going to kill him twice.
Fear looking for the kill. Ewo's going to blink out. He's going to be forced to just right-click creeps.
That Antimate's blinked in. BKB. He's
Yeah, I
he's
mean, this
lost.
fight's
He's
already over
confused.
before it's even begun. The racks are down. That's mega creeps.
It's like, man, this isn't working. It's all over. Game one in the bag.
Oh,
First
big
black hole of the game.
hole, and the first. That's true.
They win this game without using
He
black
needed
hole.
to cast it to feel good about himself. And this looks, I mean, this is a very odd game because the engagements just, not today was, they weren't looking for engagements at some point, and then towards the end now they couldn't even fight if they wanted to. It's just objective-based gaming from EG.
They got nothing out
They
of the
just pop
Brewmaster
BKBs
pick.
and they go for the buildings.
The Brewmaster pick just did not work out. The Legion pick, I think, was even... I don't think the Brew was a bad pick still. I think the Legion pick probably was, but the Brewmaster just...
Neither took off, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Get that Deso.
RC, yeah.
Mess up with those Dat Dota stats. Desolator on Death Prophet has a 100% win rate now.
Well, if you think about it, it synergizes quite well with the ult, right? It's not that bad.
You're gonna deal with that.
AC
high
is
armor
probably a
of
little bit better, but, you know.
anti-mage. All right.
Yeah, that I mean that we've seen Not Today a lot this tournament, and that was probably they've had 2 stomps where they were stomped. This is the second one.
Yeah, like this is not a team who's performed badly at the summit, but this has definitely been one of their weaker games.
They can see EG is just thrilled with their victory,
EG
as per norm.
The good news for EG is they're past their kind of day one jitters. They went 0-3 day one, similar to the last summit.
Would you call those jitters?
Yeah? What else do you call it?
Well, jitters means
one.
you're nervous. I don't think they were nervous.
Well, it sort of, I guess...
Like shakiness, you mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I guess the literary definition is being nervous. But I think it's more like, yeah, being shaky, not playing their best Dota. Like, they flew in from Sweden.
Figuratively shaky.
Yeah. I agree.
Non-literally.
Non-literal.
It grinds
form.
my gears when people say literally.
Literally,
every.
It's
Well,
actually becoming.
They fucked up the word literally. Like, as
Yeah,
in,
they
it
did.
used to have
They
an
literally
actual
fucked it up.
Well, that doesn't even.
Oh,
I don't even know if you're.
exactly.
I don't even know if you're being literal or if you're not being
No, I'm
literal
not
now.
being literal, but I'm being
Because in the dictionary, they added a second meaning to the word such that it doesn't mean.
well, that's what
it-
happens over time. Words change. You know, now it means like two things. Now
Yeah.
the actual
Well, the
use
problem
of
is
literal.
the two definitions contradict each other.
They do.
Basically.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of the English language, ladies and gentlemen. You can add anything to the dictionary over time. As long as you just keep doing things incorrectly, it'll be added. Webster's for the
man.
win.
So game 2 gonna be coming up next. Not today. Rough day. We're all roughed out to the day. It's early morning. We'll
They
get
need
them.
their
We'll get them
gum,
some
man.
chewing gum.
Yeah.
So
They need better lanes. I don't think an offlaner should die to 2 heroes, personally. Elsie was a little bit weak there, as we saw. The Brewmaster didn't pan out at all.
And like you guys brought up, the Tide would have been great. I
Yeah,
thought.
that would have been a little bit better for them. They couldn't take any fights, though. They didn't want to take the fights versus the Enigma Black Hole, and they couldn't split push enough with Ewo, so they kind of lacked firing on all fronts.
all right. Well, we're gonna go get them some chewing gum. So hang tight, guys.
That's
we'll
what
play.
they need.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get GoDz's cherry coke.
Yeah.
As well.
Man.
I'm gonna get me one too.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
We'll get a couple
Favorite.
cherry cokes and.
It's still cold. It is delicious, though.
We'll be right back, guys.